back to the ATI Podcast. Barrett here, representing the ATI side of things for a very special collab episode with Waxing-On with RJ. And we've got RJ.
Hey.
Waxing On with RJ. Hey.
Hey, it's good to be here. Talk some music. Doing good.
Looks like Jake is a little famished over there. He
Yeah.
didn't throw him enough Bud Light seltzers.
No, he didn't get enough seltzers or hard Mountain Dews.
Hey.
But no, actually, Jake is in Chicago at the Blink and Taco Turnstile show. But so Steve is here, our lovely other, I guess, co-host. He's sitting in for Jake today.
Yeah. And sitting in for Josh is Salem, but he has anxiety issues, so he may not be physically present.
Yeah, Agent Cooper's somewhere around down here. I don't. He might jump onto the table.
So, what's new on the Waxing-On side of things for anybody that might be listening on the ATI side that's not caught up with you guys?
We recently put out episode 10, about 2 weeks ago, week and a half, something like that. And that was the last thing we did. We have some specials, kind of ideas for future episodes, so we'll be slowly working on that, but as usual, we'll just keep up the bi-weekly, semi-weekly, whatever, episodes. But yeah, it's been going good. The last episode's got some pretty good views, so
I see you got the new shirt on.
Yeah, I got this Dismember shirt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Looks
like an ever-flowing stream. I've been looking for this shirt for a long time, and I found it. There was like 2 left. Yeah, I'm gonna get that.
Oh yeah, dude. Word to your mother.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about what we are going to do tonight. And so we came up with this idea for a concept episode. We thought it'd be cool to cross some streams here tonight. And
we're going to cross streams.
Oh, yeah. Plenty of times. And actually, that joke works on multiple levels, so bear with us here.
Yeah.
So this episode's going to be titled Comeback Kids, the best second acts and side projects, bands that we like. And so Ridge and I have made 5 selections. 5, I guess, appointments, we should say, but there might be many bands in those 5 selections.
Yeah.
Just because we're going to get into the, I was trying to think, like, what would be some good imagery to, like, promote the episode and stuff. And my mind keeps going back to the Always Sunny episode where Charlie's trying to, like, expose the ring that's going on, the conspiracy theory thing with all the post-it notes on the wall, the rubber bands. That's where my mind keeps going to. So that's kind of going to be some of these bands. And I think we mostly have physical media for everything we're going to talk about tonight, if not absolutely everything. So
yeah, I'm missing some stuff, but yeah, I've got at least a piece. So yeah,
and even in our infancy and talking about the idea of the show and kind of some of the bands we might cover and everything, I actually left some bands off. I'll be like, oh, we could talk about this band or that band too, just because this person played on this album with this band from this band. So, it's just, we could really go down a rabbit hole. So for the sake of not trying to, everybody die of old age listening to our episode, I tried to rein it in a little bit, but I've got a little bit of a stack on a couple of my picks. So we'll start off things light, and I'll get us going, Ridge, if that's all right with you.
Oh, go ahead.
And I will start off with Touche Amore.
There you go.
Speed of a Dead Horse. This is the remaster, I believe. No, this is the remaster. I got the remaster over there. But anyway, Speed of the Dead Horse, one of their first early full lengths, kind of the one that got them their attention and got them signed, kind of the breakthrough.
Yeah, definitely. That's one of my top albums by them.
It's good, man, for sure.
Yeah.
So we're starting the conversation at Touche Amore. Love these guys. Post-hardcore. If you guys haven't checked them out, definitely check them out. Their sound has changed over the years, but not in a bad way. I feel like they've just pushed the limits of what their sound is. It's not been anything dramatic. It's been chronological if you've listened to them throughout their music. So
it seemed a little bit more positive as well too. They're going in a positive direction a little bit.
A little bit for sure. I mean, obviously thematically, and not to get too deep on these guys, but Jeremy Bone, the lead singer, kind of one of their big breakthrough albums. You know, whenever his mother had cancer and was dying of cancer, that was a big subject matter. And then he wrote an album right after that about the fallout of that, and that was very popular and well received critically as well. So I think that's kind of, I mean, you know, coincidentally the sound has changed as well. So, and they've implemented things like pianos on songs and things like that they didn't do in the past. So, but yeah, these guys are doing a lot to kind of push what perceptions is of hardcore, post-hardcore music present day, and I really like what they're doing. So, what are the side projects? What are the connecting pieces? What are the second projects? So, this is going to be fun. Hesitation Wounds. I have to talk about. Now, this is the tape still on the wrapping, but Chicanery. I also have the single over there too, but I just picked out one physical piece of each band. So, otherwise, especially if we got on some of these picks that Rich pointed out, we'd probably just do like 10 albums of showing you one band. So,
definitely.
Yeah, there's definitely a few of those we could do. But so, who's in this band? Hesitation Wounds, actually, this is pretty fun. Jeremy Bone, the lead singer from Touche Amore. The guitarist from Harm's Way, I believe. The bassist it's the bassist from Harm's Way.
Oh, okay.
The guitarist from Hope Conspiracy.
Yeah.
And the drummer actually originally was Jay Weinberg. But now Jay Weinberg is the drummer for Slipknot. Jay Weinberg also filled in for drums in Against Me, which I could have pulled my Reinventing Axl Rose. I just had issues finding that on the way here, so I could throw an Against Me album up here right now. But, of course, Jay Weinberg went on to be in Slipknot, so they had to find a replacement drummer, and that drummer is the drummer from Gouge Away, who's also the drummer for Angel Dust.
Oh.
So, Gouge Away as well. Yeah. I love Gouge Away, and we could technically pull Nothing, although I don't think she's officially in the band, but the bassist from Gouge Away, lead singer, actually toured with Nothing on this last tour as well with Boris.
So, yeah, we got to see that.
And we got to see that, and it's an excellent show for sure. So, that is my first submission to our conversation tonight. All really good bands. If you haven't checked out any of them, I highly recommend them. All.
Yeah, great. That's a good one. Okay.
What you got, sir?
So I'll go with a quick and easy one, but there's a little band, probably one of my favorite hardcore punk bands, but Minor Threat. It's the first demo tape on CD. Got this years ago. We all know Ian MacKaye, Live Persaler, Brian Baker, Jeff Nelson on that one. But they did, I can't remember exactly how many releases Minor Threat did, but they were all solid releases. But, you know, break up, then they formed Fugazi. And which, I mean, if I had to pick one, it would definitely be Fugazi to me. Like, you can always put on Fugazi record and just chill. Like, it's good time. But yeah, Waiting Room. And this, yeah, there's lots of good tracks that they did. But yeah, definitely. Was there any other branches off of Fugazi? I can't remember exactly.
I was actually, while we were talking about Fugazi, I had to go. I need to come over to your house and watch this.
Yes, we need to do a viewing record listening night soon.
Definitely a listening and watching party, and this is definitely going to be on the agenda. A bootleg show from Fort Worth, Texas on May 11th, which is the day I was married. Wedding anniversary coming up. 1989, which is
there you go.
Not technically the day I was married, but you get it.
Oh, we could hook that VCR up to your projector and project it onto one of the walls in the basement.
That would be dope. That would not be hard to do at all.
Yeah, but I mean that would be my first pick of it. Would be Minor Threat, leading up to the freaking the greats, Fugazi, in my
Yeah,
opinion. But
I would personally choose Fugazi over Minor Threat as well, even though Minor Threat's fun.
yeah.
But Fugazi's got a little bit more going on sound-wise,
hmm
obviously.
Like I'll probably maybe get slaughtered in some comments and everything, but I never really kept up with the other members of the bands, so I don't know what. I know there's other things that came out of Minor Threat, or Fugazi, but
yeah,
that's my pick for that one.
Hell yeah! So I'm gonna grab one of my deep conspiracy theory. Okay, I'm about to go Charlie Day over here. Picks. Which one do I want to do first? Well, I'll make this easy. We just talked about Touche Amore. So I'm going to make these all connect here. Let me start with where I want to start. And that's early. Come on.
There you
I'm going to start with Converge.
Mm-hmm.
And I Grab You Family, my favorite Converge record. Hence this.
Yeah.
Twisty. But yes. So I'm going to start with Converge. Now, follow the breadcrumbs. Everybody, be patient. Converge, of course. Fantastic band. Not the original drummer, but Ben Kohler. Amazing drummer in that band. Ben Kohler has been in a lot of projects, folks.
Oh, God.
And a fellow has done a lot with them as well, Stephen Brodsky. He's done a lot of Converge albums, basically honorary member of Converge and full-fledged member at different times. And he is also in the band Kevin. Come on, Kevin. Pull my Kevin. Oh my God, I got sidetracked. I think. Oh, I know what I did. I'll grab my cave in.
Oh, you're cave in. Get that cave in. Get that cave in.
This is fine editing, folks. Right.
Yeah. We're doing this free and easy here.
Yeah. So the reason I didn't pull what cave in I had previously, I put it back because I wanted to pull out this Anchor single that I got.
Oh, that is awesome.
Rare. Yeah, I had to pay a little bit for this, but who cares?
Yeah.
Anchor on the A side, Harmless and Armless are on the B side of this. So, Caven, another great, wonderful, fantastic band. I believe on, is it Perfect Pitch Black? No. 2005 album, I believe Ben Kohler actually recorded some drums for them as well. So there's that. Ben Kohler.
I believe so, yeah.
Was also in, just for a quick mention, Acid Tiger.
Yeah. With
good band.
Or no, I was thinking of Kid Kilowatt that had Kurt from Converge in it. Right. Okay, yeah. I for some reason was thinking that Kurt played guitar on Acid Tiger, but Kid Kilowatt, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I have somewhere an All Pigs Must Die album, but I couldn't find it in the time constraints, and I've got thousands of records, folks, so excuse me, I'm not very well organized right now. And when my house flooded, they all really got unorganized.
Yeah.
I was trying to recuperate them, so.
Oh, God.
There was only like one, well, I probably should go back and double check, but I'll say it's in the single digits that any of them had any noticeable issues cosmetically with them, so there's that.
That's awesome. That's like my worst nightmare.
Yeah, for sure. So we're going to connect. God damn it. I already see I forgot to pick up another one. Life, right?
Exactly.
All right, so United Nations. United Nations, Ben Kohler played drums in this. I am also going to, eventually, once Ben Kohler did not play drums in this, and they did some later albums as well, this being one of them, we have the drummers from Pianos Become the Teeth, which this is a split that they did with Touche Amore, so this is how this ties back into Touche Amore. So Pianos Become the Teeth, I think they're a pretty underrated band.
Definitely.
I low-key dropped them, and we were talking in some episode here recently on ATI Podcast, but Pianos Become the Teeth, a really good band.
Oh, yeah.
Also in the United Nations, and pretty much the primary person that stayed throughout the entirety of that is Jeff Rickley from Thursday. one of my all-time favorite bands, and probably I would say one of the most, I don't know, kind of those linchpin bands for me, like that opened me up to so much other stuff.
Definitely. It's a very nostalgic band for me too. Like
Right.
I can listen to War All the Time or Full Collapse and go back to specific memories that I like of time, like times and stuff. It's always fun. I like throwing those on and just remembering old times.
100%, dude.
It's weird. They're like the one band that does that for me. I don't know what it is.
I wouldn't say that they're the one, but they're definitely up there for sure.
Yeah.
One other band I have to pull. And I could have pulled any album really by these guys, but
and here he comes. Go.
Last Job.
Yeah. I have that one.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
I got Worship and Tribute as well, but it's just the first one I grabbed. So Last Job as well. But that's all to pay off this. And this is, well, I hope, 2 more technically. Sorry. High on Fire is going to tie into the payoff guy here finally. In a moment. So High on Fire, awesome metal band. If you guys haven't checked it out, Matt Pike from Sleep. But the bassist from this band is going to reappear here in a moment. And then I had to actually throw my girl in here, Chelsea Wolfe, because she did the last Converge album as well.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Blood Moon.
Too. Yes. And a fantastic record.
I have a confession about that record.
Oh, okay.
I can't make it. No, go ahead.
Mutoid Man. So Man is one of my absolute favorite bands right now. Steve Brodsky on guitar from Cave In, Ben Kohler from Converge on drums, and now the bass player from High on Fire is their bass player.
Yeah.
They've played several shows, but they haven't recorded a new album with the bass player from High on Fire yet. So
I'm excited for that. Yes, and I have
going to fill them out even more.
Yeah, I have something that also ties into that. Whenever you're ready for it,
let's hear it.
That ties into this whole conspiracy board.
Okay,
but ISIS, the band, not the but I mean Aaron Turner went on to be in Old Man Gloom.
That's right.
Who else was in Old Man Gloom? But Nate, and wasn't Stephen Brodsky in it? Or did Stephen take over whenever Caleb?
He took over whenever after Caleb passed.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, so it all ties in a little bit to and the Red Sea, the ISIS.
Doom Riders into that because that's
Nate's
side project as well. I could have pulled him too, but
and then it would. Oh yeah, but going back to my confession about Blood Moon is, I have not listened to the second record, like at all. I don't know. Yeah, I tried. I even made it a point to try and listen to the whole album last night, and after the side B, I was just like, I'm put something else on. I don't know. There's just something weird to me about it. I don't know. I'm a fruity guy, so
it's the unexpected clashing of it's definitely not my go-to. It's a great record, but to go to that in the Converge catalog, you're going to this is me. I'm going to Converge for something, and it's usually something hateful, nothing pretty or epic sounding, and that album is just littered with epic music.
It is, yes.
There's that.
Yeah,
that's what I think it is, because I listened to it all the way through. Maybe once, definitely once, but I don't think any more than twice.
Right.
So, and I'm sure I will again whenever I'm in the mood for something different. But yeah, that's probably could be my longest web of conspiracy as far as picks. But I got one that's probably right there with it, and I could even add more to that stack too. So.
Most of my other picks, I only have a copy of one project. I don't have any more. Still working on some of that stuff, or it's just projects I'm not interested in. But I didn't even have this down, but I was wanting to swap out something, so I just kind of picked it off the CD shelf, but there's a band called At the Drive-In, and this is my pick if I was going to pick a record from them. Relationships on Command. Yeah, but they went off. Cedric and Omar went off to form the Mars Volta, which
the drummer was in it originally too.
Deloused.
I thought.
I think so. Yeah, but
left and then went on to Queens of Stone Age.
Oh, did he? Damn. Okay, guys, I thought I always saw, or no, it was the bassist and guitarist from At the Drive-In went off to do Sparta.
Yes.
So then from At the Drive-In, they'd spun off like 2 pretty successful bands. I mean, I never really kept up with Sparta, but I mean, they always were, you'd see them all over the place and everything. But Mars Volta, I mean, that went huge, that project. Like, I after Francis the Mute, I haven't listened to anything they've done, but I can just always listen to Deloused, and that's all I need. But that's a really good side band going into doing something else to me.
For sure.
But
what's really funny is Pam. We were talking about the episode on the way down to go watch the new Guardians movie.
Yeah.
She was like, are you going to do At the Drive-In and Mars Volta? And I was like, no, actually I'm not. I would like to. And I was like, I kind of went at my picks where I could like make an argument that maybe that second band I like as much or really close to it. And like At the Drive-In is head and shoulders above anything else that those other guys went on to do, in my opinion. Now, if we're talking about an individual album, however, Deloused is up there in a lot of respects with most At the Drive-In's albums, I will say. However, I mean, there's like a good 3 album run of At the Drive-In that I really love. And Casino Out, I love a lot too.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's a great record. And that's always a good time.
Oh, and Iggy Pop is on Relationships on Command.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Rolodex Propaganda, I believe. Or wait. I was just trying to think of the shaky Iggy Pop line in it. But I think I got this when I was 16, and it was, when I was playing guitar, I always wanted to play guitar like Omar, but that's what I got for that one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, you can go on to the other projects that I actually like Bosnian Rainbows a lot. And
I forgot about that. Yeah.
It's got Tony Parks playing drums, which he's an amazing drummer.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what band that chick is in Bosnian Rainbows. Now that escapes me. It's another Sergeant House band, I want to say. I'm pretty cool.
What is that one? Is it Brutus or something like that? No, it's
Brutus Rules. Kurt from Converge recorded their last album.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's that chick.
Was it Emma?
No, it's not Emma Ruth Randall. No.
Ooh. Oh, Terry Genderbender.
Yeah. Stage name. Terry Genderbender. That's right. Yeah, so I didn't ever really... From La Butcherettes is what I was trying to think of.
Yeah.
But
they played with the Melvins quite a bit, which is cool.
Yeah, they've played. I've seen them do some stuff there. She would consider herself, I didn't know this, I guess a lot of her artistry and persona has been taken from Bjork, Susie and the Banshees, and Karen O.
Oh.
Let's see the Karen O a little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's a good combination.
It is.
I like all that.
Absolutely. So, let me go with my next pick. Wait, we're moving through this a little bit quicker than I thought we were, to be honest with you. Okay, let's start with Tool.
Ooh.
Opiate. Now, I do like Tool. However, Tool's one of those bands, I think we've had this discussion many times before, Rich.
Yeah.
That their fans kind of ruin the music for you. be honest with you. And I don't think there's a bad Tool album, but there's definitely albums I like more than others. And unfortunately, this is the only vinyl I have now. I have quite a few CDs. In fact, I forgot about all the CDs that I have. And back in the day, whenever they would do the CD movie double thing, Tool was big on doing like visual representation, visual artistry with their album releases. I actually got those with my music DVDs and stuff in the back too.
Oh.
But yeah, this is the only vinyl that I have. But still, a low key, I would, probably a favorite. Probably a favorite, even though they don't necessarily sound like this anymore. And Maynard, I think, just famously said he can't sing a lot of the songs off of this, even though they just re-recorded this and is a part of some of that special shit that they put out here recently.
Nice.
But, yeah, I do like Tool. Big Tool fan was for the longest time. Not as big as I used to be, but this is here. I'm about to make probably a controversial case in a moment, and you're about to see how these two bands connect in a moment. Smashing Pumpkins, Siamese Dream.
Oh, I'm jealous of that.
Another fantastic. This might be a desert album, island album for me.
Definitely.
I called this out on the guest appearance that you and I did on Swerving Podcast.
Yeah.
As one of my desert island albums, and man, this is probably the vinyl that I've listened to the most of mine. Maybe twice as much as any other. And You Feel Me might be the next one. So, there's that. And I didn't want to get too long in the tooth on this one because this band has had a lot of member changes. And I know somewhere I've got some other albums, but for the sake of time and getting all of our shit in tonight, A Perfect Circle. Unfortunately, I have no vinyls, but I did buy all of these CDs when they came out.
Yeah.
And 13th Step was a huge game changer for me, even though the Denorms album came out first, their first album, which is amazing, which has three Libras on it, and Judith, both fantastic songs. And actually, a lot of people don't know this, but the first drummer who recorded on this album is the drummer from Primus. And I have a Primus fucking CD somewhere that so scattered and shit.
13 was my favorite, for sure.
13 Step's great too. I mean, they kind of locked into their sound on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm saving this other pick later, but I'm going to mention somebody else that's involved in A Perfect Circle and another band later. But I don't want to pull that bullet too quickly. So we'll get to that one in a minute. But I could technically also go this route. I could talk about the fact that Twiggy had done some work in A Perfect Circle. Twiggy was the bassist for Marilyn Manson for a long time. Twiggy Twiggy also did one album, one tour/video performance with Nine Inch Nails as well. So there's some crossover there too.
Damn.
And I could also, I mean, there's all kind of there's been 20 members in the Perfect Circle at various times. I think they're starting to kind of settle down with what the lineup is. And I could almost pull Failure into this too, because the guys from Failure have toured with them as well as some of the members. Actually, when I saw them, what the hell was that last album? It was something with the elephant. It was okay. I listened to it the one time. Yeah. That's what they were touring on at the time. But yeah, one of the guys from Failure was out there. Not Ken Andrews, but the other cat that plays keyboard and guitar mostly, but switches to bass sometimes.
Yeah, it's slipping my mind right now.
Yeah. In fact, actually, some guy that ran into us at the show, we were at the Fall of Troy reunion show, and Portrait of Guilt played as well. And I can't tell you how many motherfuckers tried to get my Failure patch from me and my Hum patch from me.
Right.
Several times. Yeah. They kept trying to trade me beer, mixed drinks, combination thereof, beer and mixed drinks. I'm like, I told these motherfuckers no. There was two different bastards that tried this multiple times. I'm like, no. And then one of the guys was like, well, have you even ever listened to their side projects and Failure? And I was like, I mean, I know Ken Andrews wrote for fucking Happy Feet. and I don't need to hear that shit. So, no, not really. And he's like, well, you should have listened to so-and-so's other stuff. It's as good as the stuff in Failure. I'm like, okay, well, Failure does it for me. I'm sorry, but we'll check that out later. Yeah, thanks for the recommendation. But you're not getting my fucking patch, guy. So,
oh man.
So that'll rest that pick for me. What you got next, Rich?
Ooh, okay. I could go with heavy hitter. I only have the first project's things or release, but little. It's kind of confrontational, like in death metal and stuff. So everybody's so sensitive, but to me, the band that like started it was a band from Florida called Death. Old Chuck actually recorded everything besides drums on this, and Scream Bloody Gore is amazing. But there's like also, once after the first few releases, they kind of went more progressive in a way and thrashier a little bit. Well, no, they still kept the same momentum going, but Human, a Death is it's crazy. Like, but it's just the story of all the members that he got to come into this band was just nuts to me. Like, first when he recorded Scream Bloody Gore, it had, I think it was, what other band did they go on to do? I don't know. Anyways, I'll forget that one. But he eventually got guitarist from Cynic, big death metal band.
Yeah.
Autopsy on, I think it may have been this album that has the drummer from Autopsy. I believe so.
Cool.
But which is crazy. I mean, like Cynic, Autopsy, what was the other damn band? Slipping my mind. But anyways, eventually Death went on to record a slew of albums. Really good stuff. But eventually Chuck wanted to kind of do some different things. So they all kind of split up. He went to continue doing the stuff called Controlled Denied. So he just went full on that. I think the other dudes went to Cynic. And then Controlled Denied only released one album. But it was the Fragile Art of Existence, which I only listened to a little bit of it. It's not really my thing. But Chuck is just the master at anything extreme and metal to me. Like, it's fascinating. It sucks that he died young, like December 13th, 2001. Yeah. He was diagnosed with brain cancer and then had to go to the hospital, thought he had pneumonia or something. He ended up having pneumonia, and then they like sent him home, and he died like an hour later. Just like wild. But I mean, very, very influential band that shared. I knew like about that he went on and did Control Denied, and knew that some of the guys from Cynic mixed it up in there. But just like Autopsy coming from it too, or they may have been, yeah. So it's super cool in me. That's a small conspiracy board, but yeah. Really, really good band.
Too, Death has some of the all-time greatest album artwork of any bands ever.
Yeah.
Just look up any and every Death. Yeah, come on, dude.
Leprosy.
Like, I came across
Spiritual Healing's great.
Yeah, I came across a deal on some flags, dude, and I almost just went crazy and bought a fuck ton of flags. Death flags. Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. Like, I would love to have Scream Bloody Gore. For sure, as a flag, and maybe like Symbolic. Spiritual Healing, I mean, would be a hilarious one, but
yeah, for sure.
Kids might think that's a little strange. We were at Joe's, and for my birthday last weekend or whatever, and I was going to pick up Spiritual Healing because I don't have that on tape or anything. So I had that, and then I found Swans or Seven Swans by Sufjan.
Yeah.
So I was like trying to decide between the two of them, and I was like, Hannah, what would you pick?
Oh, okay.
She's like, I would rather you get Sufjan. And I'm like, but I'm still going to get this. Like, she's like, I know, but I wish I would have got it. It was like for $20. I mean, like a repress, but it'd been sweet to have. Yeah.
Yeah. If you like the music, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, man. I'm going to get in the weeds on this one, too. This is a fun one.
I wish I knew more of their names, but everybody has like crazy ass names who was in death. Like, all right.
We are going to start with the OGs to get to my ultimate final point that I'd like. So there's a fourth band in what I'm about to lay out in front of us that unfortunately I have nothing of theirs, and that's Caius. Caius rules.
Yes.
Stoner metal band.
Desert music, baby.
Yep, desert music. There's Desert Pentatonics.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to start with Sunny Day Real Estate Diary. One of my all-time favorite albums.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely top
fantastic
3
album.
emo album for me,
mm-hmm.
without question. Those fellers you'll see reappear here in a moment from that band. We're going to talk about Nirvana. In Utero. Again, might be in that desert album conversation for me.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Albini mixed this album in particular, so that's why it's my favorite. I believe Butch Vig did Nevermind, which
he did.
He's a good producer and the drummer of the Cranberries as well. The names might sound familiar. And he did some shit with Failure and Silver Sun Pickups and so on and so forth. So there you go. And then an original Zeppelin 1 vinyl.
Woo!
Right here.
Dang.
One of the prides of my collection. I've got the first 3, all original vinyls. 1 through 3. Wish I had 4 in same condition. This thing's in fucking great condition. Actually.
That's insane.
I mean, the sleeves, it's even got the Atlantic press on it still.
Yeah.
From Atlantic Records. Things in fantastic condition. Look at it.
Dang.
Yeah.
Woo.
Good shit.
That's good. No scratches or anything?
None.
Damn.
Yep. Sat in my dad or my aunt's collection forever. I mean, they went on to 8 tracks quickly.
Yeah.
The tapes and then CDs, and I'm not even sure how this made, because my dad started fucking with all of his vinyls. He took a Michael Jackson Billie Jean single and put it on this fucking fishing line and hung it from a piece of driftwood. So it hung it up in the house. And I'm like, what the
oh man.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay, these are the OGs plus Caius, which I don't have. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Caius went on to do Josh Homme, Queens of the Stone Age, one of my favorite current bands.
Yes.
Fantastic album as well. I've got 3 or 4 Queens of the Stone Age records, and I think I got a CD or 2. I got Era Vulgaris and I forget what else on CD. Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
So, obviously, Nirvana to Foo Fighters, Dave Grohl, everybody knows that. But on this first record, Dave Grohl recorded everything, of course. However, he went on to get literally the entire band of Sunny Day Real Estate to back him up on this first album run. And basically just became... he kicked Jeremy Enoch out of Sunny Day Real Estate, and he just took over Sunny Day Real Estate and changed it to Foo Fighters.
Yeah, you just get out here. Give me your band. Right. Give me your band.
And the bassist for present day Foo Fighters is still the original bassist from Sunny Day Real Estate. Mm-hmm. So there's still that connective tissue there. Everybody kind of knows who Dave Grohl is, right? So how does Dave Grohl connect to Queens of the Stone Age? Well, Dave Grohl's played drums for Queens of the Stone Age before, between drummers and things for them. we could pull this back into the At the Drive-In Mars Volta conversation too. I mentioned earlier, and I've got some of their shit sprinkled out here. Bridger represented some of that stuff too. But my payoff is, how does Led Zeppelin, Queens of the Stone Age, and Nirvana basically all come together in Caius? Right. And that's right here.
Yeah.
Crooked Vultures. Josh Homme, lead singer, guitar player, bassist, John Paul Jones from Led Zeppelin, drummer, Dave Grohl. And then the secondary guitarist is also, I said I was going to tie this all in earlier, he plays in Queens of the Stone Age now. And he's also in A Perfect Circle. Or was, at least.
Yeah.
So that ties him into that band as well. So, big connective tissue here. These guys, they've only done one album. This came out in 2009. And I think people still are waiting for them to do something. I don't know why they haven't. John Paul Jones still can fucking do it. The dude's fucking defies science.
Yeah.
I mean, really, you think about everybody in the band, with the exception of John Bonham from Led Zeppelin. No R.I.P. Goat.
Mm-hmm.
But up there in the big blue sky somewhere. But Led Zeppelin, man, I mean, possibly the greatest rock band of all time. Definitely in the conversation. And
definitely,
this is just riff crazy. John Paul Jones plays bass. He also plays piano. Kind of trades off. The second guitarist in the band does as well. Yeah, it's in Perfect Circle, Queens of the Stone Age, and it's just, I don't know, man. There's no skips on this album. And,
no. Like his bass lines are insane, man.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. I mean, bass lines for days. The sound. Even, like, people think of them as a 3-piece. They're really 4-piece.
Yeah.
But when you actually see the instrumentation and what translates to the album and stuff, like, they've got some pretty good, I guess they recorded something in a studio, like, live, and there's footage of that. You can actually see it on YouTube. And I can't tell you how many times I've been a little to the right, and I've sat and watched that nonstop. So.
Oh, hell yeah. You could almost make the argument that is the best supergroup. One of the best.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Without question.
Like, it's insane.
It's so
yeah.
Good. And again, now it's been like 15 years since this thing came out. It's wild to think that, almost.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems like it came out. Like, I remember when this came out, and, like, somebody told me John Paul Jones is playing with Dave Grohl. And I was like, already intrigued. And then you throw in Josh Homme, and I'm like, holy shit. Where can I hear this? Holy shit.
I think we were all hanging out when we heard about that the first time. We were just like, that can't be real. Like,
I'll believe it when I see something, right?
Yeah.
Incredible.
Oh, man.
So, what you got next, Rich?
So, it's a band that's hard for me to, like, pick one. But I might just show them all off. But be a band from England or the UK or wherever, little band that did a little bit for heavy music and rock music, but
hell yeah.
Black Sabbath.
There you go, Playboy.
Ooh, Tony, Ozzy, Geezer, Bill. Mm-hmm. Some of the most amazing musicians that also went off to do different projects and different variations of one band too, because you had Ozzy for the first 7? The best sell, yeah. I'm gonna get into Dio eventually, but
Heaven and Hell has its place.
Yeah, I just, man,
Sabbath is Ozzy. Ozzy is Sabbath.
Like Headless Cross, the first time I seen the video for that, before I even heard it, I was just like, no, I can't. This is horrible. It's so cheesy. I mean, I don't know. That was just my opinion.
Greatest metal vocalists of all time. Like, Dio's in the conversation.
Oh, 100%.
Regardless if you're a fan or not. Like, I'm not trying to take the piss out of him, but he's not. Ozzy's his own thing.
Ozzy's vocals had an element to it. It was like, it didn't have to be perfect. It's what he could.
He also had this spontaneity about him that like that's what people look for in a frontman. That's the magnetism that is Ozzy Osbourne. Like no two performances are the same. You don't know what he's going to do. He always had the stage presence. Yes, he was probably fucking coked up most of it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
yeah,
Drunk as hell.
Fats and shit.
Yeah.
But come on, man. Like, is there? I mean, Ozzy's in the conversation for greatest frontman of all time. So
definitely.
and Dio is not in the greatest frontman of all time. Definitely not.
No, but I mean, like Ozzy went off and it's still successful. Which I mean, Sabbath came back and did all that, but I mean, Blizzard of Oz is amazing. That probably is my favorite Ozzy.
It's good, man.
Maybe,
it's really
yeah.
Good. I know I'm about to say something real controversial. Sometimes solo Ozzy does it for me just as much as Black Sabbath.
Oh, yeah?
Hot take, but 80s Ozzy, man, I grew up on that shit.
See, I like No More Tears still.
I love it too.
Yeah. Like, I remember getting that CD and I listened to it nonstop. Yeah. But, because I think, I think my dad had heard like Suicide Solution, and so he took away most of my Ozzy CDs at one point. But I think that's good.
Jake, your brother, of course, Jake Johnson, had actually never heard Osmosis. He actually didn't hear a lot of 90s Ozzy stuff, so we like drunkenly were coming back from some show or something, and I threw on Osmosis. And I played I Just Want You. And he was like, brother, that's incredible. I can't believe I never heard that song. But I Just Want You is so good. See You on the Other Side's on that fucking album as well. Like, dude, come on, dude. Like, See You on the Other Side, we played that at my dad's celebration of life. Like, that was a huge song in our lives. Like, we listen to that all the time. I mean, just incredible. But yeah, man, doesn't get much better than that. For sure.
But interesting thing, I always knew that they were Earth before Black Sabbath. They're actually called the Polka Tulk Blues Band.
Did you see? You say that? That's just drum this up in my memory banks here.
Yeah.
Did you see Brown Sabbath for Record Store Day?
I did, and I wanted to get it, but with everything else I had, it was too much for what it is, you know.
Do you want to smarten up the audience what Brown Sabbath is?
I can't remember exactly. What was it? It's is it jazz? No.
Brown Sabbath. Yeah. It's the Brown Sabbath. It's actually kind of like it's got varying. It's basically like a psychedelic rock take on it, and funk is what it is.
Yeah, funk. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Because I knew it, but it just completely slipped my mind.
Austin, Texas. But apparently, it's like psychedelic funk. Like, yeah.
It was supposed to be a like highly sought after one, but
yeah, you guys can check them out. They actually have some Bandcamp shit up. If you haven't, we can include some information in the episode details because we're gonna have a fuck ton of stuff in here, anyways. But yeah, Brownout presents Brown Sabbath. Gotta check that out.
Yeah,
Brown Sabbath.
So I've got Volume 4, Masters Reality.
Oh yeah,
it's all out of order because I've been shuffling stuff around. Dude, Sabotage rules.
Hell yeah.
Like
documentary on Sabotage on YouTube. Highly recommend it. It's right at an hour. It's really good.
Like Hole in the Sky. Man, that song's
yes.
You just want to get a motorcycle and drive real fast or something. But and Pantera does a cover of that. And it's really, really good.
It rips. Yeah.
Never Say Die.
Never Say Die is an underrated one too. I've got the original.
Bloody Sabbath.
Yeah.
And I got Paranoid over there too. But
hell yeah.
I need to get Technical Ecstasy. I thought I had it, but it's disappeared somewhere. Yeah. But I mean, that's a fantastic, I don't know, like, they were really, really awesome band. And very influential. Frontman, they had differences, drug problems, alcohol problems. But
I mean,
it birthed Ozzy and made him one of the most successful biggest frontmen. Like,
It's
it's
one of those
crazy.
bands that you can like literally name every member of. Like that's a mark of a good rock band. You
Yeah.
got Ozzy Osbourne, you got Tony Iommi, you got Geezer Butler, you've got Bill Ward. I mean, come on. Fantastic band. Possibly greatest band of all time.
And then the musicians that went on to play with Ozzy, like
right.
Randy Rhoads, probably one of the best guitar players. Yeah.
How great he would have been. He was very young when he died, you know, well before his time.
And didn't Ozzy had the drummer from Faith No More?
Yep.
Or was it Mr. Bungle?
They had the drummer from Faith No More for a period of time. He also had, I think, Chris Slade, who did stuff with AC/DC in the band, in his band at one time. I'm not exactly sure who's drumming for him currently, but I don't know, it's mostly young kids. But it was cool to see that Tony's been doing more stuff with him too. That's not just, you know, they did that show. What was it? 2001, I want to say, in England. Two of them together. They did both cool. Ozzy and Sabbath stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. And
I can actually throw another thing in this. This is funny. Post Malone. Post Malone does some features on newer Ozzy albums. Ozzy did a feature on Post Malone's album before last. And the guy that writes a lot of Post Malone's stuff wrote the new Iggy Pop album with Iggy Pop and is friends with Ozzy. And that's how the Ozzy Post Malone connection come in. And I think his tour with Ozzy as his guitarist as well. So,
dude, that's nuts.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
Right.
But it's real.
Oh man, what a great one. What a great band.
And like, I can really make this comment about everything that we've presented tonight. You know, there's so much nostalgia and feels tied to a lot of stuff that we're picking to for sure. This pick for me, going into the next for me, is that all, Rich? I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, that's all I have tonight.
Yeah. I'm going into this one. So we're going to start with Joy Division. Joy Division, Unknown Pleasures. Joy Division, again, another band ended way too soon. Who knows what they would have achieved. I can make an argument for this band made the biggest impact with the least amount of catalog by any other band in history. I really can make that argument. These guys inspired so much of what post-punk would become, what new wave and first wave would branch off and be. These guys would have never guessed what they would have meant to the music industry and to hundreds of thousands of bands. I don't know, probably more than that, millions.
Right.
Really. I mean, you can't even account for all the kids that played in their garage and maybe cut a demo and were popular regionally or whatever and never went on beyond that were inspired originally by these guys. But yeah, just Ian Curtis obviously took his life. I don't know how, I've never really cross-referenced this, but you know how like musician like biographies are always kind of like frowned upon often by people that were close in their lives, but Control is a really good one. I've got that about Ian Curtis, kind of the start of Joy Division, and ultimately it's really focused on Ian Curtis, not so much Joy Division, but how can it not be about Joy Division also? But Sam Riley plays Ian Curtis in that, and he's a great actor. And it's one of my more favorite musician biopic movies, I think. It was kind of independent art house. I think it's all black and white.
Yeah.
And very fitting as well, for sure. Shot in that way. And so, yeah, this is got to be, again, if we're getting genre-specific, top 3 post-punk album for me all time, without question.
Yeah.
Or if you want to say new wave or whatever the case is, it's all right in that realm, that hemisphere.
Yeah, I fit it with the post-punk a little bit because it's so dark and nasty to be new wave to me.
Yeah, but
it's still in there.
Yeah, but there's like later takes and stuff where they start to implement keys and things, like different versions of songs even that didn't even get. I mean, they did remasters and re-releases too over the years, especially like in the last decade, so like the 2010s. There was a lot of like unreleased or remastered, re-release Joy Division stuff of tracks you already heard, but in an all new way and an all new light. So
Yeah.
But this could, to me, be the best second act. So, in the wake of Ian Curtis's death, rose from the ashes New Order. New Order, to me, this band, I can't tell you how much they meant to me when I needed them most. 2017, I went through like a really rough time personally in my life. And I don't get me wrong, I listened to a lot of Joy Division in that time as well. And I, a little bit of the Replacements about that time too. But this was the band, New Order, that I just kept coming back to, listening to all the time. And it kind of was apropos, thematically, lyrically, things that I was going through. And it just not only just the lyrics, but the music too, just struck a chord with me so much. And it's not that I didn't already know who they were, didn't already hear their songs or anything like that, but there's just something about hearing an album or music, even if you've heard it 1,000 times, at the right time for you, that really lands for you. So I had to go a little bit more sentimental, tell a little bit more of a story. Only, this is a little bit more straightforward than our other picks, but New Order, yeah, this band's huge in my life, without question. I will always praise to anybody that will listen to me that this band's just as important as anything else that I presented here tonight. So,
yes,
New Order.
That's awesome.
Fantastic band.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, I love some New Order.
Absolutely. Can't go wrong.
I mean, Joy Division's my band, but that's like happy, sad music. Like,
yeah,
it's very, very depressing, but somehow makes me happy. I like it.
Sure.
But
and like a lot of the bands that came out like in the 80s that kind of, and this definitely is more the new wave, first wave avenue, where I think that they were starting to go toward the tail end of Joy Division. And
yeah, they were already working on it. Like, I think before Ian, because he was just a mess and basically like he couldn't perform, like, or he was going to die. Like, but just kept on trucking and went down real dark.
Yeah, he just kept having like seizures and shit, which is, I had really bad depression, obviously, as well. If anybody doesn't know the Ian Curtis backstory, it's a hugely depressing story.
Yeah.
There's books written about it as well. But man, like, Joy Division is just a mood, anyways. Itself, for sure. And if you were like, me with my variety, of course. Like if somebody was like, oh, you can only listen to like 10 bands ever again, like, and you get their entire catalog. Without question, Black Sabbath, we talked about tonight, would be in there.
100%.
Led Zeppelin would be in there. That's another band we talked about for me. But not too far down the line, and definitely making that 10, would probably be Joy Division. And Joy Division didn't have that much put out,
Right.
But again, it would add that to that variety for me, and would speak on those moods. And yeah, I could maybe change that out to New Order as well, but Joy Division's where it starts too. But I mean, but the New Order side of it's just my own personal experiences later on in life, and how it spoke to me when I needed it most. I'll never forget that, without question.
Yeah.
What do you think, Rich? Think we had some good picks for folks tonight?
Oh, we 100% had solid picks.
Hell yeah.
I thought that was good chunk of bands to throw at people, if anybody didn't know, for sure.
And there was a lot of crossover, I think, too, between some of your picks too, even though we didn't like really plan that part of it out. But
it's free and easy, baby.
Free and easy, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, we're good.
What's next for Waxing-On? What you guys got going on? Next episode, gonna have some picks for folks.
Yeah, we'll have some new picks for sure. Me and Jake are still ironing out the date when we're gonna film it or shoot it.
Yeah,
and then we'll have it up soon. But there's gonna be some good stuff. We got a lot of good pre-orders coming, and some other new releases that are coming out soon that I'm pretty stoked for. I've got the new Enforced I want to talk about, which has been playing heavy on my rotation lately.
I've listened to a few tracks of it. It's pretty solid.
Oh, it's good.
Good listen from start to finish, but yeah, I liked everything I listened to so far.
Starting to get into thrash. I don't know. Getting real into thrash. It's fun. I guess because summer's coming and it's more appropriate, maybe.
Yeah. A little bit more upbeat.
Yeah.
Well, I know that in our friend chat, Jake shared with us that he got a lot of picks up in Chicago, so we'll see if that makes the cut. Little classic Kiss in there. New Jesus piece, I believe. A few other things, but I'm a little jealous of that Jesus piece because I've literally went to 3 different shows and tried to, or stores, excuse me, and picked that up.
Yeah, I haven't seen it anywhere.
No, nowhere. I asked, actually, funny enough, that record store day, I buddied up with one of the guys that was working there in Joe's. He had I noticed he had like a flannel on, but like he had just positioned himself, like pivoted toward me in just such a way and just happened to lock eyes with me. You know, that awkward, like,
yeah.
Oh, hi there.
Just looking at your shirt.
Yeah. When he did, I noticed his shirt was the Every Time I Die Cave-In crossover, the same shirt I have, where they did a cover of each other on 2 Minutes to Lately. So I was like, yo, dude, you like Every Time I Die? And I was like, also trying to ask him if he liked Cave-In, but he was just too busy talking about Every Time I Die. He was like, every time I die this, every time I die. Oh, yeah. And I was like, yeah, man. I was really bummed that they broke up. I was like, I actually teared up. It's like, there's only so many bands that's happened in my life. Like, when they broke up, it's like I actually cried a little bit. Like, remember when Riley died in Power Trip? I was like, why? And that one messed with me a little bit. Again, timing, too. But I was like, man, like that. Talk about a band that just started. You know how good it could have been as well.
That was a freight train of a band, and then just
webs like just or the rug just swept out from under them almost immediately.
Right.
They had just 2 albums, maybe 3.
Yeah, Southern Lord is doing a pre-order of a live show that they did with Riley, and it's I'm probably going to pick that up. It's very reasonably priced, and Southern Lord's a pretty sweet label. Do a lot of the Sun stuff and everything.
Well, it was wild that I don't know if you saw this Gerard Way. He actually wore a Power Trip shirt, and it was either that or a Riley like tribute shirt out on stage whenever they went on their last tour. And he came out the very first night, and he explained to the crowd like why he was wearing the shirt and stuff. And he said, "I love this man," and they were going to tour with us and open for us.
That's crazy.
And unfortunately, he passed before it could happen. So like they were actually, it was wild to think that they were supposed to open for My Chemical Romance on their world tour.
That would have shocked a lot of people.
Oh, I get it. But I love it, man. Like when people do shit like that, like Blink having Turnstile out with them tonight, which I mean, they did a lot. Tom DeLonge did a lot for them with that last album, Glow On, by just talking about how awesome they were. Like they pretty much blew up as a result of that.
Yeah.
Specifically, and then he did like that commercial for him and shit. But yeah, man, like I fucking love it when these bands like they get theirs and they pay it forward.
Definitely.
That's another awesome thing, and hopefully we paid it forward tonight for everybody and at least gave somebody something new to listen to, or you heard us talk about a band in passing, or maybe again, and this happens to me, I know it happens to you all the time, we hear people talk about bands, but we don't really spend the time to listen to them. And maybe that
I've started a thing. Get a notepad and just write down the bands, and then eventually I've got like a list from just different podcasts and streams and stuff, mentioned bands, but it's so hard to get the time to check into all that. But hopefully people can pull something out of this. Make me happy.
Rich, thanks for joining in the stream tonight. And as everybody should know at this point, this is going to be a combined episode for both of us. So this is going to be next edition for Waxing-On, which will be episode 11.
Yep.
those gentlemen on their side. And this is going to be episode 14 for us here on the ATI Podcast. If you're with us on the live stream right now, you'll probably see the video go up first on YouTube, and then normal audio drop's going to take place whenever we actually do our normal live presentation. So this Thursday is my 10-year wedding anniversary, so the ATI
Congratulations.
will not be live. Thank you. I'll take it back. All the people in the comments clapping, thank you so much. That's not really happening. So.
Nah. It's just crickets.
Yeah, absolutely. So, everybody, thanks for tuning in. ATI Podcast will be back live with another live stream, and that's going to be with the band Belief out of Miami, Florida. And that's going to be on May 18th, and we're really looking forward to that episode. Heavy,
that's going to be good.
Band, power trio, and they got riffs for days. You guys have heard them on our show teasers on some of the reels that we've put up, and I'm really looking forward to talking to those cats. And
yes,
stay tuned for the next date for the next Waxing-On. Got a lot of fresh picks for you guys. Love what you guys are bringing, especially that last episode. You guys had quite the array of music.
Yeah, that was a very satisfying episode. I liked that.
Yeah,
a lot of different flavors in it.
Moved quicker than I think what was like 55 minutes, but it moved a lot quicker than 55 minutes.
Yeah.
Quick watch.
It did.
Yeah. And Lars will be hitting us up and trying to take his 10% commission from having anything of their media on our channel.
Yeah, he will. Even though we talk about him like every episode, he should be thankful.
Need a penny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely making them go across that border for gold.
Yeah.
72 seasons. So, alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the ATI Podcast. Barrett signing out. Good night and good luck. Stay safe out there.
Hey, this is Josh from ATI Podcast. For show updates and news about the podcast, follow us on social media. You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/ATI Podcast 22, on Twitter at podcast_ATI, on Instagram at the ATI Podcast, on TikTok at ATI Podcast. DMs are always welcome. Have a question for the show? You can always email us at atipodcastquestions@gmail.com. Stay safe out there.
This is Barrett from the ATI Podcast. Each week, Josh and I discuss current events, pop culture, music, TV, movies, politics, sports. Nothing is out of bounds. You can also tune in to learn about rising artists, small businesses. Whether it's music, graphic design, filmmaking, or even a brick-and-mortar mom-and-pop shop, we will be spotlighting folks and their endeavors. Listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Anchor, or anywhere you enjoy your podcasts. Just search ATI Podcast. We would like to thank you for your continued support, and as always, please stay safe out there.